In the summer of 1957, two little girls walked down a quiet English road and never came back. A year later, two more girls were born into the same family. Same eyes, same habits, same fears. And according to those who watched them grow, memories that didn't belong to them. This is not a ghost story. There are no séances, no rituals, no claims of miracles. Only statements, records, and a question that has never fully gone away. The town of Hexham in Northumberland was the kind of place where nothing ever happened. Narrow streets, stone houses, children walking to school without supervision. In the early 1950s, it was considered safe in a way that's almost impossible to imagine today. John and Florence Pollock lived there with their two daughters, Joanna, aged 11, and Jacqueline, just 6. By all accounts, the family was ordinary. Church on Sundays, school during the week. Small routines that defined post-war British life. Then, on May 5th, 1957, everything ended. As the girls walked to church, a car mounted the pavement. There was no warning, no time to react. Both children were killed instantly. The driver, reportedly unconscious at the wheel, survived. For the Pollocks, the house became unbearable. Florence withdrew. John clung to routine, but friends noticed something unusual in his grief, an insistence that his daughters were not truly gone. He began telling people they would come back, not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally. In October of 1958, Florence gave birth to twin girls. They were named Jillian and Jennifer. At first, there was nothing remarkable about them. Twins were rare in the Pollock family, but not unheard of. The pregnancy itself had been normal. No complications. No strange dreams or omens. At least, none that Florence ever admitted to publicly. But John was watching closely. When the twins were still infants, he noticed birthmarks. Jennifer had 2 marks in particular. One on her forehead, faint but distinct, and another on her waist. Jacqueline, the younger sister who had died, had scars in those exact places. Doctors acknowledged the similarity, but dismissed it as coincidence. John did not. As the twins grew older, the differences between them became more unsettling. Jennifer, like Jacqueline before her, was quieter, more cautious. She seemed nervous around cars, often refusing to cross the street without holding someone's hand. Jillian was bolder, more assertive, traits that matched Joanna, the older sister who had been killed. The parents never told the twins about their deceased sisters, and yet by the age of 4, the girls began asking about toys they had never been given. Specific toys. A doll with a missing eye, a wooden rocking horse, a set of toy cars, one of them broken. These items had belonged to Joanna and Jacqueline. They had been stored away after the accident. Florence was disturbed. She insisted she had never mentioned them. No photographs were displayed, no stories told. But the twins knew which toys belonged to which sister. They argued over them in the same way Joanna and Jacqueline once had, using the same words. The most troubling moments came during family trips. When the Pollocks returned to Hexham after moving away, the twins began pointing out locations they had never visited. That's where we used to live. That's the school we went to. Jennifer once stopped in the street and began to cry. She pointed to a stretch of road and said very calmly, That's where the car hit us." Witnesses later stated that the description she gave matched the accident scene in detail, details that had never been shared with her. Florence reportedly broke down in tears. John felt vindicated. Word spread quietly. Friends, neighbors, a local school teacher. Eventually, a psychiatrist named Dr. Ian Stevenson, known for his work on children claiming past life memories, took interest in the case. He conducted interviews. He reviewed photographs. He documented statements. Stevenson did not declare the case proof of reincarnation. Instead, he noted inconsistencies. As the twins approached the age of 5, the memories began to fade. The fears softened. The intense recognition of places disappeared. By the time they were 8, the girls no longer spoke of being someone else. Their personalities shifted. They became, by all measures, normal children, which raised another question. If the memories were learned, when and how did they vanish? Critics argue the parents, especially John, unconsciously influenced the girls. That grief shaped expectation. That subtle cues were enough to create a shared narrative. Supporters point out that Florence was skeptical from the beginning, that she resisted the idea that many statements were made in private before outsiders became involved. There are no recordings, no photographs of the girls speaking these words, only written accounts, interviews, and the testimony of people who stood to gain nothing by telling the story. Today, Gillian Pollock is alive and has spoken publicly. She rejects any supernatural explanation. She attributes the events to coincidence, family trauma, and childhood imagination. Jennifer died in 2012. The case remains unresolved. Not because it proves anything, but because it doesn't fit neatly into disbelief either. 2 children died. 2 more were born, and for a brief moment in time, the line between them appeared thinner than anyone was comfortable admitting. So the question remains, when a child remembers something they were never taught, are they recalling a life before or absorbing a story no one realizes they're telling?